Ladies and gentlemen, save your money because James Wan, the man behind the Saw and Conjuring series, attempts to direct Aquaman, the sixth film in the DCEU, but he fails to capture the charisma and the reality that we all saw in Wonder Woman. Hey, thanks for checking out EskimoTV. My name is Jason Escamilla. Aquaman is a superhero origin story starring Jason Momoa, who's known as Arthur Curry. This movie started off decent. We learn about how Arthur's parents met and why Aquaman is half human and half Atlantean. I enjoyed this introduction. Nicole Kidman gives a great performance as Aquaman's mom, and the setup was quick, to the point, and insightful. However, after this introduction, the rest of the movie is a very big, long mess, an arduous 2 hours and 20 minutes. The plot is Aquaman is trying to overthrow his brother Orm, played by Patrick Wilson, and to do so, he must find a really rare Triton. We follow him and his love interest Mara, who's played by Amber Heard, as they so predictably venture from location to location. One place leads to another, and that place leads to another, and it felt very formulaic. There's also a montage that's interrupted in between these moments between Aquaman and Mara, and it just features these two characters bonding. And while this is happening, not only did I think that it felt forced, but I also thought, hurry up, we have a villain to defeat, and they're busy literally eating flowers and laughing together just so we, the audience, can like them. But I just didn't buy it. The chemistry was not good between these characters. The journey felt convoluted, and I was bored throughout this movie. There's also lots of plot similarities to The Lion King, which is just a lot more well executed than this was. But Mara, Aquaman's love interest, felt a lot like Nala, who is telling Simba that he is the true king, just like Aquaman doesn't feel like the true king, and Mara is telling him he needs to take his place and needs to go back, just like in Lion King. Simba needs to go back to Pride Rock. And the brother in this movie who wants to be evil felt like Uncle Scar. That was a weird connection. There's also two villains, and one of them did not need to be in this movie. The brothers' story was already enough, and the time they spend on the second villain, who's Black Manta, could have been spent on showing us more about the brother, so that way he didn't feel so hollow. Also, I couldn't help but think that Black Manta's costume looked like a reject Ant-Man costume. Jason Momoa has some slightly amusing dialogue, and there's some visuals that are nice looking, but that was not enough to make this an entertaining experience for me. I didn't think that this was Batman versus Superman bad and boring, but that's not really saying much. I would probably put this on par with Justice League, and despite that movie having its own set of problems, I would probably say that I like Justice League a little bit more. And I would say Wonder Woman and Man of Steel are definitely better than Aquaman. Ultimately, Aquaman is another DCEU flick that is forgettable, average, and is why I think the DC universe should start over. I'm going to give Aquaman a C-. I think there's a lot of people that might like this more than I did. I just thought that this was very formulaic, very safe. It didn't feel like there was any big suspense or action because I kind of already knew what was going to happen. I predicted it, and everything I predicted pretty much happened. And so if you're into action scenes and big production and want to see an underwater CGI universe, you might like this movie, but this was not my cup of tea. There's also one end credit scene that I could have lived without seeing, but if you care to see it, stick around till the end. I love talking about movies, but one thing I love more is talking about movies with you. So leave a comment and let me know what you thought about Aquaman. You can also follow me on social media at EskimoTV. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And as always, if you enjoyed this review, be sure to like this video and subscribe for more icy and chilly Eskimo TV reviews.